Welcome back to the Talk Cafe and Podcast. I am Kaya Montigny. Today we're introducing you to Chase Hartman. Chase Hartman of Tampa, Florida is a community change maker and youth leader dedicated to finding a solution to some of the county's toughest challenges. 18-year-old Chase co-founded a nonprofit called Ecker Brothers and an award-winning book distribution called Read Repeat. Focusing his efforts on improving literacy rates, he's collected and distributed more than 225,000 books and impacted the lives of more than 65,000 students in Hillsborough County, Florida. Chase champions the need for more books with diversity and dual language books in local Title I schools and has worked to raise more than $150,000 to improve literacy and run environmental projects in this state. Chase enjoys the challenges of leadership opportunities and served as senior patrol leader in Boy Scout Troop 46, where he's also achieved the rank of Eagle Scout. For his service project required for the respected rank, he designed and planted a butterfly garden at his former elementary school and purchased butterfly habitats for each classroom to learn more about the importance of the declining monarch butterfly. He's attended leadership workshops with Boy Scouts with the National Youth Leadership Training and also at American University with the National Student Leadership Conference. As an honor student, Chase attended the American Legion Boys State Conference and received a Samsung Scholarship. Additionally, he has been recognized as the 2024 Coca Cola Scholarship, Beta Club Scholar, and National Honor Society Scholarship National Finalist. He's a member of the National Honor Society and National Society of High School Scholars and is a co-president of National Student Government at his high school. Chase's academic and community service efforts has been recognized by Dr. Ben Carson Scholar Fund, which was awarded him the position of Carson Scholar. Chase is a Tampa Bay Lightning hockey team community hero of tomorrow recipient, Florida's Presidential Spirit of the Community Honoree, Points of Light Youth Advisory Council member. It was also recognized by the EPA as a President's Environmental Youth Award winner. He is currently a student at the University of Florida's Business Administration and Political Science. Welcome to the show, Chase. Oh my gosh, like that was literally such a long intro. You literally have to change so much as a freshman in college, but welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you so much for having me.
So you spent most of your time with your organization, Echo Brothers. Like, tell us more about that.
Yeah, I'd say it kind of started for me individually as a project called Read Repeat in 2016. And it started mostly from an event called Boogie for Books, which was at my elementary school in fifth grade when I was 10 years old. And what happened was to kind of attend this dance, you had to bring a book in, a used book. And all the books were going to be donated to an organization called Metropolitan Ministries in Tampa. And kind of the significance of that was to really show or really kind of to emphasize the fact to us young kids that there were a lot of areas in our community that did not have as many books as us and were not as fortunate with literacy and education as us. And that was where I really got inspired to kind of start Read Repeat. And it kind of stemmed off of the support that my fifth grade teacher who organized the Boogie for Books event, she really supported me in kind of the start of Read Repeat and helped me run my first few book drives. And kind of from that, it really kind of took off, and we got a lot of community support, a lot of kind of media recognition which was really helpful because we were able to collect thousands of used books in just a few months and really connect with a bunch of schools, do a bunch of book deliveries, and from that it kind of just grew. We've implemented a bunch of different initiatives throughout the years, such as books of diversity and dual language books, which are English and Spanish books, to kind of fit a lot of the needs and social issues that are really important to the Tampa Bay area. And kind of from that, it's been really great. We've been able to reach so many different schools in our area, all in 50 and all in all the 50 states too as well, all around America. And it's been a really fun time. And in 2020, we expanded and combined me and my brother's projects into one project and one nonprofit called Eco Brothers. And that's where we do a bunch of stuff now. We still do our book deliveries, but my brother also upcycles stuffed animals. Together, we do food drives, and we do beach and park cleanups. So we do a bunch of stuff, but we really love doing it. We really love just getting involved in our community and especially making an impact on the students that are in our local area.
I love it. Like, when did your volunteering passion start? I know you said like in like fifth grade with book drives and everything, but was that the time where it started, or did it start earlier for your volunteer passion?
I think I was very fortunate to have a few kind of um, activities that I was involved in that really included a big aspect of volunteering since I was probably in the first grade when I joined the Cub Scouts. And well, my mom kind of put it in me because all of her mom's friends were also doing it. But a big part of that was volunteering. But I think what I realized later on was that at the time in first grade, second grade, third grade, I didn't really know kind of the real reasons why I was volunteering. I thought it was just kind of doing good for the community, but it was really when I started Read Repeat and when I did that, participated in the book delivery to Metropolitan Ministries, that I realized this one specific issue that there was a big lack of literacy in certain areas of my community. And I had a lot of books in my home as a kid. I loved reading The Magic Tree House and Harry
Mhm.
Potter and a bunch of series with my moms, but I knew that there were kids and there were even older populations in my community that were not as fortunate enough as kind of my home. And I knew that I could take a direct part in solving this issue and making sure that all of these kids were inspired in reading as well, because I had seen kind of the benefit that reading had on my life. I mean, sitting in fourth and fifth grade classes, we used to have some classroom parents come in and really kind of read with us and help us read. But in my first few book deliveries with Read Repeat, I went to some schools and I realized that there were whole classroom libraries and whole school libraries that had little to no books in their libraries in some schools in Tampa. So that was where I really got inspired to kind of just work on this one issue and kind of grow it from there. And that's where I really got a bunch of community support and really kind of saw the importance and impact of volunteering, because I realized that it can really bring a community together and it can really kind of really open people up to being just passionate about helping each other and coming together as a community and making a difference.
Absolutely. And I was a Girl Scout in like years
Hmm.
ago, so I understand with Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, the main thing, but with both organizations is volunteering. And I was
Yes.
like too young to realize I was like, why am I volunteering my time? Like
Right.
for Girl Scouts. And I'm just like, I didn't really know what volunteering or that sort of thing was. I just did Girl
Hmm.
Scouts just to do it, honestly, like
Yeah.
just keep myself busy. And when I grew older and just left Girl Scouts years ago, I was like, well, I guess I'm more passionate about volunteering than I was when I was in Girl Scouts, because it really teaches you, either Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, about volunteering. That's one of their main like missions per
It
se.
does.
And
Yeah.
so when I got older, I'm just like, well, volunteering is needed. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. So
Hmm.
basically, with our area is really big in volunteering, no matter what.
Hmm.
Because there's so many nonprofits in our area. So basically, anyone is accepting anybody, honestly. So
Hmm.
volunteering, well, it's good for college applications, one, absolutely, but it really does play such a big role, whether it's for literacy or whatever, it does play such a big role in our community. I don't know how big Tampa is with volunteering or service hours or whatever it is, but where I am in Scranton, basically the main thing where I am is you really need to get volunteer hours to be able to graduate. Was that
Hmm.
like kind of the same thing in Florida as well?
Yeah, I think it's really big in Florida. And I think one of the reasons is that we have this program called the Bright Futures program, where I think if you meet certain kind of GPA and test score requirements and earn 100 volunteering hours throughout high school, you can get free college tuition for any public school in Florida. So that is a big reason why a lot of people stay in state. And it is one of the reasons why I stayed in state and went to the University of Florida, is because they have this really great program that not only kind of encourages people to get involved in their community, but also provides free college tuition and encourages people to kind of further their education. And that's really one thing that like Eager Brothers has really emphasized is um, kind of the fact that we can provide volunteer hours as a nonprofit and like help people or help students get their Bright Futures hours, but also we really emphasize kind of why they're doing this, why they're getting involved. And during every cleanup or park cleanup or stuffed animal sewing event, we really emphasize the fact that like this is what you're making an impact on. This is the issue that we're solving today. Definitely come back and help us out or get involved or start your own projects if you really want to. So I really think that Florida's a really great place for volunteering just because there's a bunch of different things that you can do. You could drive 20 minutes to the beach in Tampa and just go clean up individually or with the group. And Bright Futures really helps us out a lot with that as well.
Gosh, I'm jealous because where I am, like they don't offer that to us. So now I
Hmm.
wish now they provide it since you guys do that in Florida. I'm jealous now.
Yeah, they should. They should.
But you like you said earlier that books play such a big role in your life. Like what kind of role does it play in your daily life?
Yeah, I'd say kind of personally and currently, books really help me kind of tap into my interests and tap into kind of connecting with others at the same time. I think since starting college, I haven't been personally reading a bunch of books, but I think 3 out of my 6 classes are kind of focused on kind of a book, and we do pre-readings and we do kind of class discussions, and it really helps us kind of connect with each other through ideas and kind of opinions and stuff. And I think um, all throughout high school and all throughout middle school, I think that's been a really great part of just reading because I've been able to connect with so many of my friends about so many different interests and really just learn so many different things at once just from reading one book. And so I think it's definitely a really great outlet of just learning for me and also a really great outlet of just being able to connect with others for sure.
Because I'm a big reader as well. So I'm like, well, if he loves books, I might as well ask. Like, I'm a senior in high school. So once school started, I literally haven't been reading much just
Yeah.
because, like, it's literally so hectic all the time, or
Hmm.
college searches or whatever it is. Like, it's literally so hectic to the point where I want to read, but just don't have the time for it. So I usually just, if I want to read, I
Yeah.
just listen to usually audiobooks or something. But
Right.
to go back to Echo Brothers, you guys collected and distributed over 225,000 books. And can you walk us through how you initiated this project and what challenges kind of that you faced along the way with distributing 225,000 books?
Yeah, I think kind of with the initiative or initiating kind of our projects, our different kind of initiatives is it definitely took a lot of small steps and a lot of kind of slow gradual progress to really get to like the big numbers that we have today because like of course when we tell people that we've donated 225,000 books um a lot of them kind of scream or make a crazy face at us, but that has been over 8 years and it has been just kind of working on it for a few hours a week. And so that's what I really try to emphasize to other people, especially when they're looking to start their own project or get involved, is that you don't have to do kind of a really grand thing as long as you're kind of dedicating just a few hours or even just an hour a day or a few hours a week on kind of the thing that you're passionate about. And it will really make such a big difference in the long run. But of course, we have faced a bunch of different challenges over the years. COVID was a really big one just because we weren't able to uh, organize in-person deliveries. So that's where we kind of really focused on advocating for what we cared about at that moment and really kind of we still collected books at that time and had people drop them off at our front porch, but it was more about kind of why we were doing this and kind of speaking on different um, like shows and podcasts and stuff, and also just talking about it on social media to kind of spread the message. And another challenge was banned books and kind of the legislation that really flew through back in 2023, especially in the spring, because it really affected our book deliveries because a lot of schools didn't want to take our books because there was a whole long process of accepting the books. So kind of to navigate that, I spoke at a school board meeting and really just share my student perspective and really kind of just emphasized the fact that these kids who were once receiving free reading materials are now not able to receive these materials and are probably being hindered a little bit with their education because of that. So just kind of by sharing my perspective and through COVID and through a lot of the banned books legislation, it really helped us out a lot. And just by kind of stepping back and just thinking about why we're doing our project, why we're kind of have continued to do the things that we've done for the last 8 years, we really can get through kind of any challenge. But yeah.
Especially during the pandemic. If you guys got through
Yeah.
that, then you guys can really handle anything. Like with Florida, it didn't get hit as maybe bad
Hmm.
as some other states. With Pennsylvania, it literally just got hit hard, and
Right.
literally we didn't even open for like 2 years, like
Yeah.
because of how bad it was. But that that's awful that you guys literally just had to go through not accepting your books. Because I
Hmm.
looked at a bunch of books that you guys gave me for a local book drive or whatever, library books, and I'm just like, these books, I just want to take them and read them instead of giving them in the library,
Right.
honestly, because it looks really good. But
Hmm.
with you having the confidence to go up in the school board and talk about it, like that's awesome. Like, how did they react to that though? Is my question.
Yeah, it was luckily a very great reaction. They were very kind of supportive, most of all, or mostly because they were surprised by the fact that I was kind of just encouraged to go stand up there and speak to them about this issue. But I was able, luckily, very luckily, able to connect with the president of the school board and also one of my local state representatives and host a few out of school book deliveries during that time. So even though we weren't able to organize those in school book deliveries, we were still able to make an impact and reach a bunch of kids by a Hispanic Expo event that we organized and a event at my school where I passed out books in the cafeteria, and then also an event um, and like a local block party in a low income community. So we were still able to find solutions despite not being able to directly reach the schools. And I'm really grateful that the school board members were really kind of accepting of my opinion and also really kind of just wanting to support me in that moment. And I think that's a really big thing that I've kind of realized about how me and Zach have been able to run this project is that
Mhm.
it's probably been 90% of the community and their work that's really kind of taken apart in our project. And really only 10% of Zach and I's work is really just book deliveries and sorting the books and getting our message out. But
Mhm.
90% is the book deliveries, the fundraisers and donations that we receive all come from our community and the support of our community. So I think without the support of my fifth grade teacher or without the support of my school board, we wouldn't have been able to, reach the as many students as we have today. And so I'm really grateful that they kind of responded well and didn't kind of just take my opinion and shut me out. But yeah.
Especially with you guys being a nonprofit, nonprofits mostly are run by maybe grant money, scholarships, and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So, if you guys didn't get any of that, then basically you just had to do it on your own, which I don't
Right.
know. I don't know much about nonprofits or how it works. I'm sure you know more than I do personally. But I know if you guys or any nonprofits didn't get scholarships or anything, I'm just like,
Hmm.
well, I guess I just have to do it on my own, or this is not going to be a thing or anything.
Right. Exactly.
So, to the last question I had to ask you is, what advice would you give to other individuals who want to make a positive impact in their communities but don't know where to start?
Hmm. I would definitely say to really start local and to tap into your passions and kind of involve those in your project, it's very likely that you will be able to find an issue in your local community that connects with something that you like or one of your passions, and it will make as big of as a difference as trying to kind of solve international issues or big issues. Because I feel like a lot of the times we focus on kind of the big world issues and are definitely inspired to help out, um, and I definitely encourage you to try to solve those world issues as much as whatever way you feel is best, and definitely share your voice on that. But I think the place that you live in and like the community that you live in needs as much help as those world issues. And it might not be as big, but I think the little actions that you make in your community and the way that you're able to tap into your passions, you're really going to be encouraged and more motivated to kind of connect with your community, to learn about the people that live there and to make such a big difference. And so I really want to emphasize to everyone who's listening to really start local and to tap into your passions. If you are really interested in, I'd say, marine biology, but you don't live on the coast, you don't live by the ocean, it's still such a big important issue. And you could focus on the waterways that lead to the ocean in your community. You can focus on kind of the ponds and the local wildlife that live in your community and kind of work with local organizations to solve that. So there's still ways that you can get involved, but you're gonna be so kind of better off and really kind of effective with your time if you stay local. and really just follow your passions.
You're so right. So that is the best way to wrap up this episode. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I'll make sure to put Echo Brothers links and everything below for you guys to check out if you guys are interested in learning more. But thank you so much, Chase, for coming on, taking the time. I love literally everything you're doing, and it's an honor to have you on today. And thank you for everything you're doing, because it's definitely making a difference.
Yeah, thank you so much. I had a really good time.
Thank you. Same here. So thank you everyone for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, or review, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. And